So Cedric Cozzolino, I work for Footlocker. We're a retail company. You know, we sell customer delighters, right? So we're in the sports industry and try to empower our youth culture through sneakers and you know, exciting apparel and good adventure in our stores. My role in the company, being based out of the Netherlands, is actually a global role. I'm the Director of Workplace Engineering and Global Support, so I oversee the entire end-user landscape from the hardware purchase to the hardware decommission and everything in between with the MDM platform, etc., etc. I also oversee the enterprise collaboration tool sets. Microsoft 365 fall under my team's responsibility, and I just newly got assigned the global service desk also under my responsibility. So support for the end users, which is close to my heart because that's how I started my career at Footlocker. So it's going back home, going back to my roots a little. If you look at the last 3 years, we've had to, as you know, as companies, as leaders, as individuals, we've had to move through a new way of working. We had to adapt to not only technology, but also new interactions, right? So, and how people work together. But we had to do that from home. We had to do that from a single place without having the actual interaction with actual people. So one of the key components was really to have IT presence and put the right collaboration sets in place. What I've been doing, what I constantly try to do is look at things from different angles. I look at it from an inside out angle. I'm trying to build strong partnership with all my business areas, trying to understand how they work. Not only myself, my entire team needs to do that. Every interaction is an opportunity to learn, right? So really try to understand the business, try to assess their present needs, but also try to work with them on what's coming, what's on the roadmap, what's in the future for your area. What do you need? What do you have on the finance world? What do you have on the marketing? What do you have on the merchandising? And try to understand what they need so we can assess the tool sets. Another very important area is self-education. How do you stay aware? How do you keep yourself completely informed on what's going on, right, in the world of IT? And we know that there's companies starting and companies closing and merging and new ideas and new people every second of the day. So how do you stay kind of on top of that? Well, what I like to do, it's again about collaboration and working together. It's gonna be attending events like yours, right? So the peer group discussions, or having those type of relationships with people in the same jobs in different industries. So you're gonna learn how they do things and exchange good or bad ideas, right? So it goes both ways. And one other thing that I do a lot is meet with my vendor partners. We have a portfolio of vendors for services, technology that is very, very, very diverse. I meet with all my vendors very, very regularly to understand from them what they have on their roadmap, also to challenge them on what we think their product should be delivering for us. And also at the same time, I'm trying to stay open and talk to other companies, right? So companies that we're not making business with, because they might have the right product, and they're not always Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 or Fortune 20 companies that have the right idea. Just as an example, we a few months ago we had a very detailed admin password issues on our Mac platforms for labs. So it's something that admins will understand what it is. And our solution came from a training center somewhere in France. The solution is developed by a couple of people. It's brilliant. It works beautifully, and the big guys couldn't give us that solution. Apple didn't have the solution, Jamf didn't have it. So it's just keep your eyes open, be open for ideas, because it can come from anywhere. It's the same as how do you stay aware of what's going on in your company? Constant conversations. There's several levels of engaging with the business, right? So the first level is you have very formal discussions. You can have reviews with departments at leadership level, etc. So and learn. We have project reviews. We know what's on the roadmap for the upcoming 3 years. So we can connect some dots and build that partnership at that level. I'm also challenging all my team members to learn from their interaction with their peers or their customers when they have a support question, when they're part of a project discussion. Learn about all this, and when you know what you need to put in place, and when you know what you need to or have an idea of what the technology and what are the kind of understanding what are the gaps in knowledge. Understanding on a company of 5,000 people, you'll have highly skilled and less skilled people. We have various training programs, communities. So we use a lot of different ways of tackling this, right? So we have communities. We use a lot of. We're a Yammer house, so we're Microsoft house. For this, we use Yammer a lot. We have channels and communities for different technology stacks where people actually themselves are working on that. We have champions groups for various products that we think make sense to be able to kind of have early adopters, and then they become the advocate of the technology. We nothing new here. Do a lot of trainings at various levels. The engineers are going to give monthly Ask Me Anything discussions with, and then we have from 10 people to 500 attending those sessions. Depending on the subjects, we work with our corporate comms, corporate trainings, and use all the learning and development platforms. But one of the key components to get technologies and adopted and tools adopted is if you get companies' support and buy-in and leadership. What Footlocker is doing, and it changes everything. Technology is at the heart of our strategy imperatives. So everything we do for our store employees in our stores, in our companies, for our corporate employees, must and is surrounded by technology. We will be leveraging all our technology stacks. So if you have the buy-in from seniors, from leadership, and if you have the strategies in place, it goes way better. We have an interesting wave of adoption. That said, we're always looking at new ways of getting more in touch, at the more detailed level, and have very strong interest in looking at something that tools like, I'm not going to give brands, but that work more on the digital experience management. To get a better feel of our user sentiment when it comes to technology. That's the next step. That's what we have on our roadmap for 2023. IT, especially my area, we're a service organization. I don't exist if there's no users. We don't exist if they're not happy, right? So if they cannot work, there's no need for our team to exist, right? So again, it's about giving the right tool, whether it's hardware or software, support, services, to the right target group at the right time. And if you can match all those components together, then you might end up being somehow successful in IT. There's only one way to do that. Listen to what's going on in your business. Listen to your partners. and constantly learn what's going on, and then get that information, try to formalize it, turn it into solution, and do it again. It's a constant cycle. There's no end to this, right? So never look at I never look at, when we're done with implementing whatever we're doing, whatever implementation we have, a small tool or a big 2 years project that is going to revolutionize how I don't know, our store employees are working, or my entire corporate environment moving from, I don't know, when we did actually move from our developers from Slack to Teams, right? So that was a big move for those platforms, because they didn't like Teams originally. So all those moves, when you're done, you're like, yay, super, I'm done. I can be happy about it. Okay, celebrate the success and start learning again, because there's always something new coming on. We need to be super agile when it comes to that. So there's no end. Talk to your business. I talk to my business partners every day. Whenever I have the opportunity to have a call with someone from whatever region of the world or whatever business areas, I will, because there's no better ways of understanding what's going on and be able to provide the right solution. I don't think we are less reactive per se. I actually think we need to look at how we can implement our operational models to be more agile and more flexible, to be able to adapt to the changing world. If there's one thing that COVID has taught us, is that, right, is there's no certainty in how things are going. We had from one day to another to move thousands of people, all of us, not only Footlocker, everyone in the world had to move thousands of people in a matter of days to work in a very comfortable environment in an office with your coffee machine and your two screens and your chairs and your chats, and all good. Everything was wonderful in Wonderland. To working from home with your kids on the background, your dogs, and no screens, and poor internet connection, and who knows, right? So, and starting by, it's going to be a few weeks, we're good, we'll see you in the summer, and then comes summer next year, we'll see you in the summer, and then comes summer next year, like, we're finally going to see you. It's been 2.5 years. So if that's what that taught us, is learn. Again, it's all about learning, taking the lessons, and try to transform how we're looking at things. Be more agile. Make sure your operational models, and that's what I'm constantly trying to challenge my team about, is let's look at our operational model to be agile, flexible, as much as we can. Challenge the vendor partners. Trust me, they don't have sometimes flexible models. If you push a little bit hard, some of them are gonna be working with you. I have to give a lot of kudos to my and again, I'm not gonna give brands, but people can figure it out. To our printer provider, which is, everybody's gonna say, why do you even talk about print? We're not in the office. Well, I still people print sometimes. But everybody knows what a print contract NPS is. 5 years. It's very solid, it's standard, and we all signed those contracts in the past, like, with two eyes, like, whatever, I don't like it, but it's okay. Well, when you live in a world where your real estate portfolio changes, your flux of employees, being in the office, hybrid work, etc. So who prints, who doesn't print? Do you really need that amount of printers for that amount of time, for 3 years? Long conversations. When I say long, it's more than a year of conversations, but we ended up with something in a win-win situation with that vendor. They had to revolutionize and to change how they approach their contracts. We had to also work with them, and now we're building a very strong partnership with that company. So yeah, everybody needs to put, and everybody needs to put that time and energy in trying to understand the new world, right? And try to build the future in a more flexible way, right? So and we're all learning. I think us companies, customers or sometimes SaaS providers, it's our role to make them understand that they need to evolve as well. And some companies are more open to change than others. And quite frankly, this is where my heart's going. When someone is willing to partner with us, obviously we're going to look at cost, but we're also going to look at the level of partnership we can build, with our companies when we build our strategies, because we need all that to come together.